Hi guys, it's Julian, the creator of Genudi. I'm recording this video because I wanted to walk you through a conversation with the program. There's a lot to know. I created already a section right here that most of the pioneers have read, and I really thank you for your time and effort. But it's very light and simple. It's incomplete, so I wanted to do something a little bit more elaborate and just have a dialogue and explain my choices as I make them to sort of give you a feel of the requirements of the algorithm. Now, let's just get started. Brand new dialogue. Yes, it's 9 p.m. at night. It's not actually. There's a little bit of a time zone thing. This is the Chicago time zone, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, let's just get started. Let's just say a simple sentence about what's happening right now is a good way to start. So this is a tutorial. It is for the Genudi pioneers. That's you guys. Thanks again for sharing my passion and giving this project some of your attention. We're all busy people and I appreciate it. Now let's see what it says to this very simple sentence. No surprise, like I explained throughout the website, the program has no previous knowledge when you start a sentence, so it suggests you repeat at least one word from a previous sentence. That's because the algorithm will try to deconstruct your sentences and then reconstruct them in its own way using the Genudi algorithm. In this case, I would definitely want to repeat the word tutorial because it's clearly the theme of the dialogue, and just a little bit of a verb like is. Let's just give it some really simple building blocks so it can build interesting sentences later. This is not a good time to start a long sentence or elaborate too hard on this very simple concept because the program has too little vocabulary at this time to handle big sentences or complex ideas. So what really the secret of this is really to take it step by step and be patient. So I'm just gonna say something like with a tutorial. So a tutorial is the verb I want to repeat is a good way to learn. See, that's very simple, straightforward. I'm taking my time. I have plenty of things I want to say right now, but the program knows nothing, so I'm gonna just give it time and give it some very simple building blocks. I'm playing Legos with the program right now. I'm just building that simple structure first, and then I'll try to make the Eiffel Tower happen later. Maybe we'll see. But for now, the foundations. There it is. A tutorial is a tutorial for the Genudi pioneers. I'm glad it said that because see, it's making that there's a little repetition here. We notice it. I know it. You know it. Now the program doesn't. And is it worth pointing it out? No. You don't point out a mistake this early on. If you say you repeated the word tutorial or you shouldn't repeat this or blah, that's not gonna help. What answer could you expect from that? It's not gonna tell you, oh sorry, I didn't mean to. It doesn't know. It doesn't have the vocabulary nor the understanding of the language yet that it would require to say something constructive about your correction. So please stay away from that. We have to move the conversation forward, and then maybe later down the road, when this little countdown here is around 80 or something like that, there are like 20 sentences already entered, maybe then we can take that liberty of trying to correct it or actually teach it something. But for now, we're just giving it blocks to construct sentences. So that's the first step. Feeding blocks. I'm gonna look. We could actually look. This could be interesting. We could actually acknowledge the repetition in a smart way while feeding it building blocks. So this is what I would want to do now. I would want to say repetition. Introducing the concept. Repetition is helpful to learn. Now, look at what I'm doing here. I'm introducing the concept of repetition. Maybe later I'll be able to use it again. And then the verb is repeated, so we're in safe territory, and I repeat this structure to learn, so it becomes something that can also be reused later by the program. So let's submit this. And there it is, look at it. A tutorial is helpful to learn. This is a brand new sentence. It makes perfect sense. And you can tell it's already using these little blocks we've been giving it. And that's a little success right there. So let's be patient. Now I could be like, great, well said, or yes, exactly. That is not useful either. I usually refrain from saying yes, no, exactly, great, cool, because these things are too short. They're not building blocks. They're really just acknowledgement. Like, this is not going to move the conversation forward. This early on, all I want to do is to feed it building blocks and move the conversation forward, not repeating too much of what I'm saying. I could say yes, it is helpful, but what is it going to answer to that aside from something that's already in the likes of this or this? I'll just start stalling and we'll be in what I call paralysis. We'll enter paralysis mode, and that's really what I want to stay away from with this program. So instead, I'm going to try and move forward. So what can I say now? A tutorial is helpful to learn. I could say for instance, it's a lot of work to make. Though, I might even dare saying though. Although that's kind of an intricate word in the English language. I'm gonna risk it. See, that's the kind of risk I'm taking. It doesn't look like a lot of risk, but this early on, it's like we're talking to a child. It's a bit of a weird concept, but let's just go for it for now. Because why am I actually taking this risk? I already have A here that the program knows. What else do I got? I have 2. That's a great little structure. I've already used it here. So let's try it. I want to try that. I think it's reasonable enough, but that's the kind of weighing I'm doing every time. I'm trying to weigh my next sentence and figure out, am I pushing it too far? Is this too much yet? That's really the spirit of it. It's the beginning has to be slow and very... it's a lot of work to learn. Yes, that's exactly right. That's another great sentence. It used that to structure here. See, these little words... The gods are in the details. The little things are going to go a long way with these programs. I don't want to repeat the large structures. I really like the way the colors are. Blah. No, I want to really repeat those little the little building blocks. But I've said that already, so let's move forward. It's a lot of work to learn. Now, I could again say, yes, cool, it is, you're right, that's great, you're learning. No. I'm going to move the conversation forward. Another step further, every time, an extra step. It's a lot of work to learn. Although, it's also a lot of fun. See, and I'm introducing here opposite concepts, which is really useful for Genudi to make decisions and start having a personality of its own. I introduced the concept of a lot of work, and then I introduced the concept of a lot of fun. Not saying 2 sentences that are exactly identical, because that's going to create more paralysis for later. I just want to try and sort of find an interesting, original way to give it opposite concepts, feeding interesting ways to weigh things and learn how to have a personality of its own. So this is a good sentence. Let's submit it. If the internet will allow us, I'll just have a sip of my beer. Oh, there it is. It's a lot of fun. See, I love it. That's when I really like this algorithm right here. It doesn't take much longer than 5 sentences. Look, we're at 95. We started at 100. 95, and we already have a few great sentences that are actually relevant to the theme of our conversation. So you see that the building block policy is really paying off early on. So it takes literally 15 sentences of patience, usually 10, 15, and then you can start expand on more interesting things. It's a lot of fun. So I could say, yeah, it is, or cool, totally, dude, but that's not going to help it become more intelligent or make more complex sentences. So I'm going to stay away from that. I'm not gonna not acknowledge its behavior. I'm just gonna keep feeding it new ideas. So it's a lot of fun. We don't want to have, this is gonna be good, look, this is what I'm doing here, to have too much fun. I'm repeating fun. By the way, see, fun with a full stop in the eyes of this program is different from fun alone. So when you repeat something at the beginning, don't be surprised if it says that you have to repeat a word from a previous sentence. You'll be like, no, I said fun, but fun with a full stop is not fun without a full stop. In this case though, as you can see, I don't know why it's doing that, but as you can see, it will be a valid repetition of fun because it has a full stop, so that's going to be great. We're repeating to, introducing the verb have, which is a must-have in a dialogue because we use it every day, a million times a day. The verb want is also crucial in the English language, and it's about time we introduce it. And we introduce the idea of a different subject, not just I, it. We introduced we. We are a team, so this could be a very fruitful sentence for the future, but still short, still one idea at a time, straightforward, not too much. A tutorial is a good way to make, though. Now look, this is exactly the typical case. It's not perfect English, but there's an intention behind it that's interesting. A tutorial is a good way, you can replace the word make by build in your mind, a good way to build, to create something, and then off of that you're gonna feed it the blocks that it needed to create that sentence it wasn't able to create just because it didn't have the vocab yet. So I'm interpreting what it could mean. Instead of correcting it, I'm gonna interpret what it could mean, or what I think it means, and then feed it the blocks that it will need later if it wants to actually say the right thing next time. And that is done, for instance, let's try to do that. So let's see. It's how can I do this? Let's see. This is what I do every time. I'm like, how can I do it properly without repeating too much and getting to paralysis? And in the meantime, getting what I want, which is just literally giving it one single word. Right now, I just want to teach it the word create. So let's find a smart way to give it the word create for next time. It feels good to, no, that's not good enough. No, it's not gonna work. I can tell. It's too different from the rest. It's pushing it too far. The answer is really in the middle every time. It can't push it too far in one direction, repeat too much of what we've already said, or just go completely the different direction and have my agenda. I want to teach it create, so I'm going to talk about creation. It's too early. Let's be careful. Let's stay in safe territory. So let me see here. I'm going to say it's good to create. That's probably good enough right here. So I'm repeating good. It's these two things. I'm not going to go all the way and repeat a good way to create, because that would probably trigger some paralysis later. We don't want to repeat too much, but this is a cool sentence here. It's good to create. Maybe next time it will say tutorial is a good way to create, full stop, and that could be a good sentence. So let's try it and see. Boom, see? Well, I know my algorithm, hopefully, but still it surprises me all the time. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen because it really has a mind of its own. But see, I know those little tricks of the trade, and I could feel here it was just missing a word here to build a great sentence, and I found a smart way to give it to the program, and now I'm getting a result that can actually be valid. But it takes time. You see the effort, the thoughts I put into it, and the acknowledgement that this is a child, a fresh brain without any information, and it's struggling, literally struggling to create sentences with the few words it knows. So really the idea is to try to understand it. Don't push your own agenda. Try to see what it wants to say and give it the blocks it needs for next time so it can say it next time. I'm going to have a sip of beer because I'm running out of air. Now we're on our way to something here, so a tutorial is a good way to create. So this is the bridge we need to talk about creation and some more interesting things, and sort of broaden the conversation into something that will be worthy of our own time, because we don't want to spend our whole life just telling a program how to speak English. So now this is our opportunity. Sentence 7, 100 minus 93 is 7. So this is just sentence 7, and we have been so careful so far that we already have an opportunity to try and broaden the debate. So let's go for it. I will go ahead and say creation is an important part of my life. Now, I can thank the gods for having given me such a good memory, because I remember, I think, having said before that the word important, helpful. See, I bragged way too early. I didn't use the word important. I used helpful. A lot of work. I thought I said it's important to learn. I didn't yet, apparently. So that's my bad. See, I should have been more careful. So what else is there in there though? Is, I already said. So creation is that it knows an important part of. Did we say of earlier? Yes, a lot of fun. So that's good. It knows it. And then my life is gonna be new. But I think with these two little pivotal blocks, it might just be enough so we can start and risk something a little harder. This is good. See, there it is. Creation is an important part of work to create. Of creating more work. I'm trying to understand. This is not a perfect sentence. Obviously, we're getting on a pretty heavy topic, so let's be patient with it. And let's keep moving the conversation forward, trying to understand the intent of this sentence, even if it's a little off, and then maybe find a great sentence to respond to this. Creation is an important part of work to create. So I would definitely introduce the idea of a piece of art, like a piece of work that has been created, and that creation is the process of creating a piece of art, basically. So I think that could be an intent. I could just be making it up, but that's okay. It doesn't matter, because what is going to happen is that I'm going to push some sort of agenda, but in a very subtle way, and in a way that will fit in the current context that the program has established for us. So let's say that good we've said before, but I want to introduce new words to stay away from paralysis mode. A beautiful piece of art, that's gonna be good, is pure creation. So I don't think that the word, like I explained earlier, I don't think the word creation with a full stop is going to be considered a repetition here, because this is a beginning of a sentence. So I don't think it's going to be considered a repetition, but later it will be. Creation is a beautiful word. It's great to throw it in there in our conversation in different ways, beginning, end of sentences, who cares? It's a great word. So we're using the verb is again, that it knows, of, it knows, it knows here, and we're introducing a new adjective, beautiful, so that should be a useful sentence. Let's see. And there it is. See, that's right there. Sentence 9. Not even 10 sentences. Not even 10 sentences yet. Sorry about that. And I get creation is pure creation. Now, it is mathematics. I know it doesn't really have a mind of its own, but by being careful and giving it some time, less than 10 sentences will get you inspirational responses. So it's not perfect, whatever. It's inspirational, and it's encouraging us to move forward and elaborate on this new topic that we literally just look. 3 sentences ago we were still on a tutorial thing, and now we're in the middle of creation, and it feels great, and it feels natural, and it wasn't that much work. I'm going particularly slow for the sake of this tutorial, but it hasn't been even that long yet. So creation is pure creation. That's a magnificent sentence. And now what can we respond to this? The challenge is on us every time, really, because how do you teach something interesting things is the challenge of this program, and it's hard. It takes a little bit of work. It takes a lot of balance, of maturity. It's difficult. This program is not some recreational thing. It can become recreational, but it is most importantly an experiment. And I thank you for being a part of it. If you're still there, this is taking longer than I thought it would, but it's worth it. So let's stick to it for now. Creation is pure creation. I believe, let's say something interesting. I believe that creation makes us better persons, maybe. I don't like the ending. Creation makes us. Did I say make before? I think I did. Way to make though. Yeah, but there is no S, so it's a different word. It's not that smart yet, so it actually. But that's I'm talking about the program. I didn't make it so it actually looks at the roots of words. All these things would have been more bias, and I didn't want any bias. This is a neutral, abstract, objective algorithm that doesn't look into much more than what you give it. So that's the spirit of it. I believe that creation improves our lives. Why not, right? This is kind of cool. So let's see. Oh wow, there is no S. Sorry, I'm French. I didn't know that. Okay. Improves our life? Oh, really? Could it be right? I'm wondering. Creation improves our lives. Or our life. Our life? Improves our life. I don't like it. I'm gonna do something else. I don't like it. It feels like there's a problem here. It's probably me. Sorry. It's probably my English. That's the problem here. But let's see. I believe that creation improves creation. Let's see. I literally sometimes spend 5 minutes before I actually write a sentence. I believe that creation makes us better. No, I don't know. Makes the world a better place. Oh wow, that's gonna be a little longer, but I think we can afford it because we have been very careful so far. That's kind of a Disney talk, but that's cool because it's simple. It's still a simple idea. See, it's a little bit of a longer sentence, but the idea is still straightforward and it's simple. I believe that creation makes the world a better place, and it has words, little a here, the. I think we're gonna get away with it, guys. So bear with me here. It's loading. The answer is that it's still loading. I'm having a sip of beer. Usually it makes things happen faster. And it does not in this case. Oh my god, yeah. A little server crash. Maybe there are too many pioneers, too many of you guys trying it right now. Oh, my sentence is gone. I believe, what did I say? It took me an hour. I believe creation makes the world a better place. Yeah, it is a long sentence, but it should be. Let's see. Let's try it again. Fingers crossed. Is it going to happen this time? Yes! Ah! Ah, that's a good one. I believe that creation makes the world a tutorial for the Genudi pioneers. I almost want to end on this sentence right here because I could blabber about this process for hours and hours, but this really gives you guys an idea of how to do it. This is still kind of a funky sentence. It's not as high level as we might have expected from the burst of inspiration that I just got there, but it works for me. I believe that creation makes the world a tutorial for Genudi pioneers. And yes, this tutorial is a creation, and that's exactly what I'm gonna say. A creation. We're going to see what this. It's sort of connecting it. A tutorial is a good to create. Yeah, that's absolutely not right. Now, should I correct it yet? No, I'm not going to correct it. It won't be constructive. It's an accident. It just clearly is trying to connect the two literally the two themes we've been talking about. And it's hard. It's completely blind at this time. And these are just words we're throwing at it. So let's be patient and let's try to see if we can get back on the creation train instead of being pulled back into the tutorial world. Let's just try to do that. This is an interesting incident. A tutorial is a good to create. So what I'm going to do here is get back to that making the world a better place thing, because that's the new piece of information. I think this might be what threw it off, because it's a big chunk of new words. See, I went a little faster than I should have probably, but it's good because it's natural. We're human beings. We're motivated, driven people, and we want to get results quickly. But this is a little too fast. So I believe that creation makes the world a better place. So instead of responding directly to the tutorial is a good to create, I'm going to try to bring a little bit of this back into a sauce and see if that's gonna help. Let's see. The world is a creation itself. No, that's itself is gonna be too complicated for now, because look what's gonna happen if I do that. A creation itself is gonna tell me I believe that creation itself full stop, and that's not necessarily going to be an interesting sentence. Let's try it actually, because it's an honest mistake. It's still a simple, straightforward sentence. We should be allowed to say it, and we're gonna say it. The world is a creation itself. Now it's gonna help it learn about the word world. That's a very beautiful and important concept too. This is a tutorial. Is a creation. Yes, so apparently it wants, then okay, well, it wants to talk about the tutorial. We'll talk about the tutorial. We have to follow this instinct here and just go for it. I thought I could kind of redirect the debate, but that's my agenda, and I shouldn't push it further than one attempt. And it's clearly telling me that this is not the time to do this, and I'm just gonna obey and observe what's happening and just react to it. So this is a tutorial, is a creation. So let's get back into the tutorial, and I can say I think this tutorial is getting too long, because I can hear a lot of the pioneers yawning, because it is taking a little longer than I thought it would, but it's important to kind of get out of this little bump on the road here, because it will happen. It's important to see if there is a strategy to kind of get back to where we want to be. So I think this tutorial is getting too long. Is getting long. Oh, I could have said too long. That would have been better. Too late. This tutorial is a better place. See, well, apparently that's literally happening right now. The program is telling me that at this time, this tutorial is what I should be concentrating on. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. This tutorial is a better place. So now I can hear literally questions rushing in my mind. How long do you think this tutorial should last? I could literally ask this question. It's very tempting because it's talking about it. It seems to be kind of knowing about it, but really, does it have the words yet to respond to a question such as, how long is should this tutorial be? 10 minutes? We didn't talk about minutes, we didn't talk about hours, we didn't give it any of these concepts yet. So I can't ask this question just yet. Now, can I ask any other question? What is a better place? Could be a trick question, because we've talked about the world being a good place, we've talked about creation, making it a better place. So maybe I can afford these questions because it has words and elements to respond to it. I'm gonna go for it and try it. See, it's sentence 13. This is only now that I'm considering a question, and it's only because I know it might have the words it needs to answer it. So let's try it. I think this tutorial is a better place. Alright. It really likes this tutorial, and I think it's cool because it was the main theme of the video of the conversation. Now I wanted to expand it to creation and stuff, but maybe sometimes you gotta listen. This is it's telling me right away we're talking about a tutorial, so let's talk about a tutorial. I'll have another sip of beer because I'm getting my mouth is getting really dry. I think this tutorial is a better place. And now I can literally say, I'm not going to say yes, I'm going to say I'm starting to agree with you, because it's literally convincing me that right now I should be talking about this tutorial. I'm starting to agree with you. See, it's a way to say yes, but it's still feeding it new, interesting words and moving the conversation forward in a way Sort of, because oh my god, what's happening today? Internet connection being crazy. I'm starting to agree with you. Let's repeat this sentence. The server I got is really terrible. A pioneer has extraordinarily nicely offered me hosting a hosting service, and I'm really considering it. At this point, just moving everything seems like a big hassle, so I'm just giving it a thought, but I really appreciate the gesture. It's an extraordinary gesture. A tutorial is a good way to agree with you. Ah! Now this is brilliant. It is brilliant. Yes, it's a good way to agree with me, because I'm literally explaining my version of how things should be done, and this tutorial is gonna get people to, hopefully, of course, to agree with my version of how to use Genudi. See, this is literally an idea I didn't have myself. I didn't hint at this at any point in the conversation, and yet this just happened. So that was a good reason why Genudi wanted to mostly talk about the tutorial, because it felt more knowledgeable about it. I don't know, maybe that's what it is. Either way, we're making progress, the conversation is moving forward, and I intend to just go a little further with you guys before letting you go to sleep. A tutorial is a good way to agree with you. What can we even respond to that? I don't want to say that's true totally. I want to say something interesting that builds up from that, and yet show the program that I too have some good ideas to share with it. I don't want to say random things. I really want to participate in this, and a good way to participate would be, I could say, introduce the idea that not everyone has to agree with me. Kind of defend myself. It's like, this is a suggestion of how to use Genudi. It's not a law. There's no law. You can do whatever you want. It's very flexible, so I can defend myself. Not everyone has to agree with me. Let's see how that plays out. We have to, we have with, a new tense here, has, the past. Not everyone has to agree with you. See, that's beautiful. Just change that little thing right here. But this is a big step. This is talking about me and you identifying ourselves as separate entities. And that also is something that was brought up by a pioneer in a conversation or in an email, I don't remember, but we can decide to go me, you, and sort of have our own identities and see how the program kind of adopts its own identity. Or we can just talk generally, never saying I or never saying you. Both approaches work, but for some reason, even though it's kind of schizophrenic, I find the me-you approach kind of cool, and just more like lively, human. It's kind of cool. So we're in the middle of it anyway, and we're gonna move forward in this direction. But this was a great response, and see, my strategy worked. It wasn't an agenda, because I really just wanted to respond to this, but my strategy of giving it an idea of a balance, and not everything is white or black, really paid off in this case. And it understood it, it took it in, and now not everyone has to agree with you, and I can crack a joke and go, but the more, I could say the more the merrier, but that's kind of a tricky structure with the, and it could really lead to a lot of confusion. It's a little bit too much complexity for right now. Maybe later it would be possible, but at this point I think it's going to be too much complexity. So, but I could say, but the more, it's going to be hard if I start like this. Not everyone has to agree with you, but I could say, hopefully, as many as possible. But I've noticed that the as structure is also kind of a trick one. Hopefully as many as possible, though. Now, did I repeat though? I said though before, did I? I think I did. I even talked about it. Yes, though right here. So we have one word. I don't think it's gonna be enough though. As many as possible. No, it's not gonna be good. Hopefully as many. No, it's not gonna be good. Just though at the end of a sentence, literally, it's just gonna repeat this exact sentence, because, or the previous one where I used though before, it would literally repeat this one. It's a lot of work to make though, or it's gonna, what did I say? It's a lot of work to make. Oh, that's a terrible sentence. No wonder it screwed up later, yeah. That's a horrible sentence. That's really my bad, guys. Let's see. This is not going to be enough words that are already familiar to yield some interesting response, to create, to get an interesting response. So let's try something else. Not everyone has to agree with you. Although I wish they did. Maybe that's good. Not everyone has to agree with you, although I wish they did. Yeah, that could work. That's not a lot of familiar words at all. It might not work. Let's try it. It's been long enough. I really gotta go for it. Oh, well, it kind of worked. I believe that creation makes the Genudi pioneers. Exactly right. Man, this is a good sentence too. Celebratory beer sip. Yes, this is a good sentence. I believe that creation. We could make this a drinking game, by the way. Definitely. Every time it repeats, if it starts repeating too much, make it a drinking game, and you'll see that the program becomes that much sweeter all of a sudden. I believe that creation makes the Genudi pioneers. That's totally right. That's exactly right on the money. And I know exactly what to say to that. The pioneers are working hard to create greatness. Guys, this is really, I'm really by your side on this one. What did I say? The pioneers are working hard to create greatness. Yeah, that's really sweet, guys. Literally, and it's heartfelt. I really believe you guys are working hard on. If you're still looking at this, if you're still watching this tutorial, I don't know how many minutes we're in right now, but if you're still watching it, you are working hard. The world is a better place? Question mark. Yes, that's good. Now it's genuinely pulling us back into a different dimension, and I really like that, because yes, it's connected. When people are working hard to create greatness, it does make the world a better place. Now, do I want to say totally no? Still not, and never. I'll never say totally or awesome or you're totally right. Instead, I'm going to say something interesting that I don't know yet, but I'm going to think about it for sure. It's worth it. Look, we're at sentence 18, not even 20 sentences, and look how far we've gone already. I mean, it's beautiful. We're really getting a cool conversation. It's slower because I'm describing it, but with a little practice, you'll see that you'll get there instantly. In less than 5 minutes, you'll be already at this point, and then on to great things. So, the world is a better place, and I would say hardworking. See, I used working here, so I could say hardworking to kind of explain this little chunk here that's completely new to the program. Hardworking people make the world a bit. Let's see. I used make before, I think. Yeah, makes. See, that's gonna be different again. So let's see if it could. Hardworking people are the essence of it. I could say it because it just said the world. I think I could afford that. Hardworking people are the essence of it. Are the essence of greatness. Ah, that's good. Because I repeat greatness, but I don't repeat the same sentence. I just sort of kind of give it further information about this without going too far. And again, look, it's still a simple, straightforward sentence that conveys just one idea. That's a cool idea and kind of the same as this one, although not exactly the same. I'm not pushing my agenda too hard. I'm just giving it more building blocks on this topic. Hardworking people are the essence of greatness. And I think that's enough in this case. Hardworking people are the essence of my life. And that coming from this program is freaking brilliant because yes, it's our hard work and dedication that gives this program its life, literally. It owes its life to the effort we put in our conversations. So this is the perfect sentence. I'm actually tempted to stop right here because it's really perfect ending for this tutorial. And I will stop, see what 19 sentences we're where we want to be. You've seen what I did. You saw what I did. and you can just literally now create your own. You've seen the process. Right now, I'm not going to type the sentence, but I can tell you what I would do. Hardworking people are the essence of my life, and I would say something of the likes of. Uh, I could say something. See, that's when I get more personal. I would go like, "You're a big part of my life," or "I'm a big part of your life." I would literally start going in that kind of mushy direction here. I'll keep it for a private conversation, of course. But this is up to you, guys. Now you can take it from here. I really appreciate the time you gave this program and the time you hopefully will give it in the future. If you're still listening and watching this tutorial, I thank you for your time, and I wish you the best of luck in your future conversations. Alright, thanks a lot. Bye, guys.